All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hanging Out with Mad Mimi. I'm Becca. I'm joined here by Mira and Jay of Heyo. Mira and I are here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, so if you want to come back to our other Hangouts, just drop in. We have a Q&A button if you have any questions during the Hangout. It's just up in the grid at the top of your page. You can click that and hit the Q&A button there to ask questions, and we'll answer you live. So thank you, Jay Tucker from Heyo. Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's exciting. Got some exciting news for your audience, too.
Awesome. Very excited. All right, so why don't we jump right into Heyo itself and what you guys do, what your service is, and why it kicks ass so much.
Awesome. Yeah, so Heyo, for those of you who aren't aware, is a company. We're started in Blacksburg, Virginia, where we're still headquartered, by a Virginia Tech student in his dorm room, right across the street from where we are right now. We're about 3 years old, and our main focus is helping everyone get leads from social media. So obviously that ties right into email marketing with Mad Mimi, and so that's exactly what we do. And we love small businesses.
Awesome.
We do too. That's so great to meet other businesses that love small businesses.
And start out small businesses.
Right. We all start out that way, so we might as well love small businesses. Jay, can you tell us what you do over at Heyo? Your title is Lead Social Strategist. So what does a day in the life of Jay look like?
Yeah, so it definitely varies a ton. I know that's my title. My main focus is helping businesses understand how they can use the platform and strategizing specifically for them how they can use it and get more email leads to grow their business. Obviously, you guys know how powerful email leads are for people and how to use them, but I really help focus on how they can get more from social media, mainly Facebook. And then since we are still only 3 years old, I kind of wear the startup hat as well. So I have all different random roles, strategizing with agencies for their clients, doing some random customer care calls, running webinars, stuff like that. So I'm all over the place, but that makes it more fun.
Awesome.
Playing ping pong. I hear you guys have a ping pong table there.
Yeah, ping pong's great. I'm not the champ, but I want to be. Our CEO is pretty darn good.
Awesome. So I guess what do you think of the differences between Heyo and maybe your competitors or other services that do similar things? What makes you guys so awesome and so easy to use for your customers?
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to be a little biased that we are the best, but you have to think that. The main things that differentiate us, and I think it's not as important for my answer, but what we hear from our customers is the ease of use of our platform compared to some of our competitors, and in addition to that, a really responsive customer care team. So when there are difficulties with software companies, sometimes it's hard to get a hold of those people, but at Heyo we like to say that you can literally hug Heyo. It may be hard to get a hold of other software companies, but you can hug us. We're always here, very receptive. We have a great customer care team, and the ease of use of the platform is huge as well. It's really easy to set up a contest or whatever it might be to publish your Facebook page to help grow your email list, get more engagement, all kinds of different fun things.
Totally. Yeah, I looked at the site and I found that the actual composer for building a contest or a promotion or something reminded me a lot of the Mad Mimi composer. It's just a very easy drag and drop, no coding required, super simple. Exactly. And I wanted to hug it because it was so nice.
Yep. Don't need to know a line of code. One of our employees here actually used to work over at Mad Mimi. So he probably brought some of that ease of use over here.
Totally.
That's Chris. We had him on. A while ago, so we can show you guys that episode as well. If you guys, we'll link to it so you can watch it. But Jay, I was wondering why Facebook. You guys are very focused on Facebook specifically. I mean, that's the platform where you publish. So why is it just that?
Right. So those of you that are looking on, I'm assuming most of you probably have a Facebook, and if you don't, I'm shocked. But Facebook is the most trafficked social media platform, over 2 times the next closest one. Most people that use Facebook, the average user goes on 914 minutes a month. So the people that do have Facebooks are going on there quite frequently. So that's why we decided to target Facebook specifically. Obviously, we want those small businesses to be collecting as many email leads as possible, and that's where their audiences are. So that's why we focus mainly on Facebook. But there are definitely other things you can do with our platform that bring other social medias into Facebook. Mm-hmm. So there are ways to incorporate other social medias directly onto your business page too.
Awesome. Now, what are the contests or the different things that you can do in order to capture these leads using Heyo?
Yeah, great question. So the main use of our platform is running contests on Facebook to get those email leads. It's a great way to incentivize people to come in, provide their information, which then you can import to your email list, and that's something we'll touch on a little more here in a little bit. But running a social contest, incentivizing them with something related to the business, maybe not giving away your product or your service, but something that ties into that is a great way to collect email leads. So that's the main use of getting those emails. It's the contest.
What do you find is common that people are giving away? As the goal or the win, I guess, at the end of the contest.
Yeah, it varies a lot based on the business. A lot of them, we have a lot of people trying to run contests around Valentine's Day right now. It's coming up here in the U.S. So they're giving away. We have a lot of hotels running contests. They might have extra rooms in Valentine's Day, so that's kind of just extra room that they have. They might as well give it away in a contest to get email leads to help grow their presence in the area or people coming to visit the area. We have a lot of skincare lines giving away products.
Nice.
But it really varies a lot. I've seen some pretty interesting things at my time here, what people have given away. So it definitely is interesting to see those coming in, what people are giving away for their contests.
Do you have like some good advice for people who are starting a contest? Because I find a lot of people, or this I see on the web a lot, people who are doing contests, and it's, win a free iPad, sign up for whatever this is. And I feel like a lot of the time people, like, sure, they want an iPad, so they'll sign up, but then the lead ends up being not that responsive and ends up unsubscribing because they just wanted the iPad, and then if they don't win it, they don't come back. So what do you think is a good way to figure out what to offer people?
Yeah, so that's very valid. A lot of people do give away iPads or gift cards to Amazon, something like that, that doesn't tie into the brand at all. So then you're getting all these leads, which looks great, your list is growing, but at the end of the day, those aren't going to do anything for you, so you hit that right on. The best thing is to find something that emotionally ties to your brand. So we like to say, don't give away the hamburger if you're a hamburger company, give away the ketchup or something that complements your brand.
Nice.
So that's a great way to do it. You don't want to give away your product or service all the time, devalues your brand. So finding that complementary product is a really great tool for incentivizing people and making sure those leads are pre-qualified for you.
Totally. That's a great piece of advice. I love that saying too. I'm going to use that now.
What's the craziest thing you've ever seen, like, in your time at Heyo?
Yeah, my favorite one I saw probably almost a year ago. I want to say it was last March or April. There was a guy who owned and ran a buffalo farm. And he ran a contest on his Facebook page, and he was giving away, I think it was like 4 or 5 pounds of fresh buffalo meat.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's just like, obviously that's a really niche market, but it was just so cool. Like, you don't see that every day. Somehow he found Heyo, wanted to use it. He had some great success, but that's probably the most interesting one I've seen. But there's all kinds of things. We've seen some guy teeth with art, or art with teeth. He made artwork, yeah. He made artwork with like animal teeth or something, and he was giving this piece of art. It was very interesting.
That's awesome. I guess, I mean, good for him if he has an audience that loves that.
Yep.
Keep doing what you're doing, buddy.
Yeah, it's important for him to be collecting those signups then, so he can sell more teeth art.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we see all kinds of interesting things. There's not a particular industry this works best for. There are some other things that we look at to see who it'll work well for. We have run over 250,000 contests, so we have some research and identified who this will work well for or not. So it's not really about what you have to offer. It's more about what your business looks like at the current time that you're looking to run a contest or whatever it might be.
Nice.
Can you share some of that with us, like who this does work best for, like who is the ideal Heyo user?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, it doesn't really matter what your brand, your industry is. It can work for anyone, and we've seen it work with all kinds of different people, as you just heard. But some of the things that we typically see, you don't necessarily have to have all of these, but a couple, one or two, or all of them definitely help with making sure you're going to have success. So the first thing we typically look at is having at least 500 Facebook fans. Like I said, if you have some of these other things, that's not necessary, but that definitely helps because you have that pre-existing audience that can help market the contest for you. That's another thing that we can touch on at some other point. But having at least 500 fans. Another thing is if you already have around 1,000 subscribers on your email list. So if in Mad Mimi you're already seeing over 1,000 on that email list, that's another way that you can have them market your contest. So even though you already have those emails, you would think, I don't want them to enter my contest. I already have their emails. But there are built-in features to help share your contest, so they'll market it to their networks. So that's another one. So the 500 fans, 1,000 emails, and then looking at the organic reach. So when you're on your Facebook business page, seeing how many people those posts are actually reaching. A lot of you have probably seen those numbers go down in recent times from Facebook changing, how they're operating.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a struggle in having to pay for more ads or boosting your posts, but talking to people and seeing what their organic reach looks like based on the amount of fans and seeing that ratio there is another thing that we look at. So those three things are big tells for how successful this will be.
Is there a specific reach? Is there a specific ratio to fans and reach that you recommend people have?
We haven't. That's like the one we've looked at more recently. I don't have concrete numbers yet, but we have a pretty good idea. I don't want to say any of those numbers because they aren't set yet. We're still doing research into that, but we have a pretty good feel on our end when we're talking to people, getting a feel for what their page looks like, their page insights, to know if it'll work or not.
Yeah.
But those other two things are pretty easily identifiable for anyone that would be looking to run a contest to double their list or grow it.
So now, what if someone doesn't have those? What if they have less than 1,000 email subscribers now, and they have less than 500 Facebook fans on Facebook? Is there anything that you can recommend? It may not be Heyo, but it may be some other sort of strategy or tactic to get to that point where they would be where Heyo would be ideal for them.
Yeah, so we actually have a lot of resources on our blog that talk about how to build your audience on Facebook, how to increase your engagement, so that's that organic reach from your posts. There's lots of articles on our blog about that. One of the best things, we were actually kind of talking about this earlier before everyone jumped on, is putting out great content for your audience. So if you're putting out great audience or content on your page, people in your audience are more likely to share that, and if you do it over and over again, they're going to share that content, and that'll bring in more people. So if, say, Paul sees the content you publish on your Facebook page, he really likes it, he shares it with his friends, they're going to see that content too. They'll probably click on your page, go view your page. If they like the other stuff you've been posting, they're going to click that like button. So continually putting out good content is a great place to start, but as I mentioned, our blog has a lot of other different strategies as to how to build your audience to get to that number where it could work.
I really like the point about content too. It's something we tell a lot of our users as well about how to get more opens for your newsletter. I find that the more valuable information you're sending out, great tips or interesting stories or just something somebody can really tangibly read and learn something from. If you consistently do that, I find your views and your shares and just your general support will be so much better than just posting an ad or just posting 20% off or something like that. It really gives people something to read and respond to. So it's definitely an awesome strategy, I think, across the board for any kind of online marketing.
Yeah, and off of that, Becca, have you guys seen that not just your own content, but sharing other people's content helps as well?
Oh, totally. Yeah, because it looks less self-serving and, more helpful, and it's not just about you, it's about everybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely a good thing to do. We actually have a question here from Stephanie Martell. Thank you, Stephanie, for writing in. She wants to know what the difference is basically between using Heyo as a service or just boosting a post on Facebook. So what's the advantage of using Heyo over just boosting or just posting on social media in the first place?
Right. So the big thing that we've tried to hit on with what Heyo can do is we can actually help collect those emails
Mhm.
from social media. So if you're posting on Facebook, you can't really collect information from somebody. So if you put up a status that says, put in your email here so we can enter you to win whatever it might be, people aren't going to put their email in just a comment on Facebook. So what our platform does is it helps that you can actually collect those emails directly from social media. So yeah, you'll probably want to put a status up to promote your campaign, and we'll give you a smart URL for that campaign, which basically means it has the ability to think, see if the user's on a mobile phone, on their desktop, laptop, iPad. It'll be able to optimize the viewing for them, and it'll drive them into the contest. So that's the main difference. Is with the Heyo platform, you can actually collect that information directly from social media instead of having to drive them to an external website where they have some other form to fill out. It's just a really easy way to collect those email leads. So that's the big difference. Hopefully that answered your question.
Sounds good to me. Awesome. And it's a great way to sort of, instead of just doing all of your marketing on Facebook, it sort of opens you up to, the greater world of email marketing and everything else. So it's
exactly.
Cool. Thank you. I think we actually have another question from Rebecca. Hey, that's my name too. She says, I have a client who often gives things away, but rarely do people take advantage of it. What would your advice be in creating more interest for free services or things she's giving away?
Yeah, so if it's more a service-related business, sometimes it's not giving away the service that works best. So as I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, it's not necessarily giving away your product or service that works best because that kind of almost devalues your brand. So you want to find that complementary thing. So the ketchup to the hamburger. So finding something, maybe the target audience is very specific for your client. Maybe it's financial services. I don't know. But you find that target client. Think of something that pertains specifically to that age group, that demographic, whatever it might be, and then from there, picking that prize that makes sense, and that's a great way to run a contest that will pre-qualify those leads for you, hopefully get more traction, and then as we talked about earlier, Facebook bringing back the number of people that are actually seeing your posts, then you might have to boost or promote a post or create an ad driving people into that contest. But sometimes giving away your service isn't really super exciting to people, so I try finding that complimentary prize.
Totally. And Rebecca, if you want an example, I can give an example from Mad Mimi ourselves. We have a free ebook that we give away, which is it's an ebook about email marketing and about tips and tricks you can use to be more successful at your email marketing, but we don't give away our actual services. So we have a free account, so we can use the ebook to sort of tie in with encouraging people to start using our services, but it's still a sort of separate thing. So that's maybe one example. Thank you, Rebecca. Awesome.
I would also be interested in how your client is giving things away. Like, how is she doing it? Is she using Facebook? Is she using email? Is she collecting information along with that? Is she running it like a contest? All of those things, I think, can impact the attitude that people have towards this giveaway. So if you want to provide more information, we can probably riff on that a little bit more, or you can email us all the time. We're always open to chat. So I would also just be curious in how she's giving those away and how she's running them, because the Heyo platform really makes it this kind of exciting contest, and it's built in. It has some urgency to it, and there's a lot of neat little things built in that make it pretty exciting.
Yeah, so I see she just added some more information. I have a perfect answer to that. One of the first people I worked with when I started with Heyo was a chiropractor, and that's what it looks like they do. So my chiropractor from back home, growing up, is who I went to get a feel for how Heyo works, and obviously it wouldn't matter too much because I knew them very well. Been going to them for 10 plus years. So what they gave away for their first contest was one of the things you put, the lumbar support for a chair in your back at the office. They gave away one of those, and then they also gave away a specialized pillow. I forget what it was called, but a certain pillow that they were recommending to their clients that came in. So things like those that maybe they're suggesting that the people that come in the chiropractor buy already, but then they were just purchasing them themselves and giving away as a prize. So that's something I would say for the chiropractor.
Awesome.
Looks like another question.
Awesome.
Yeah, it seems like Facebook and a gift certificate. But I think all those tips, Rebecca, should, I mean, give it a shot and take a look at Heyo and see what you think. And like I said, Mira at madmimi.com, Becca at madmimi.com, and I'm sure you can email Jay at the time as well.
It's the letter J, last name Tucker at heyo.com. So not as simple as the Mad Mimi emails, but pretty easy.
Definitely feel free to reach out to us, of course. Where would you recommend, Jay, that people start? If they haven't, they haven't done any kind of Facebook campaigns, or they haven't done any contests before, and they want to, and they meet all those requirements that you said makes Heyo ideal for them. Where should they start? What should they do?
Yeah, so the first thing I was going to say is seeing if you meet the requirements. If not, find some tools to build up to meeting those requirements. So it's good that you already got that on there, Mira.
And sorry, just to jump in, you can, all those tips that Jay mentioned, you can find at their blog, which is blog.heyo.com. So if you want to check those out, there are a bunch of great tips there. Okay, go.
Yeah, so the first step, and really the hardest step, is picking the prize. So we've made it very easy. You don't have to worry about coding. You don't have to know a line of code. You just have to come in, edit a couple images in, put in some URLs, and basically it's ready to go. But that hard part is really figuring out what that prize for your contest is going to be. Mm-hmm. Once you figure that out, it's very easy to set up on Heyo, as I mentioned. And then we do have a lot of resources for, 5 things you need to remember when running your first contest. So that's another thing that's on our blog. There's lots of different little things you may not have thought about, but that first step is definitely figuring out what that prize is that might not necessarily be your product or service, but is complementary, emotionally ties into your brand. That way people are incentivized to actually enter in. So first step, figuring out what the prize you might want to give away is, and that might take you quite some time to figure out.
Do you guys provide counseling or recommendations for people to help to go on that journey?
If you decide you want to try running a contest, we do have a free trial where you can sign in the page, and then throughout that process you'll get emails kind of seeing how you're doing.
Nice.
And with that, you can definitely send an email to anyone on our team and say, hey, I'm stuck trying to figure out what to give away as the prize, or you can email me. I just provided my email. It's the letter J, Tucker at heyo.com. Feel free to reach out, and I'd be happy to discuss with you, what might work best for your particular business. So there's lots of different ways to figure it out.
That's so cool. So I think you guys have a sort of announcement about Heyo and Mad Mimi. Do you want to tell us what big news is?
Yes. So I'm actually really excited to announce this to you all because of the fact that we actually use Mad Mimi for our email marketing, but we finally have an integration on our platform so that when you are running a contest using the Heyo platform, you can have those emails directly sent into your Mad Mimi account. You can pick a specific list you want them to go to. You can create a new list and have those sent straight into there. It'll timestamp it for you. So that's the exciting news. We're really excited about it. As we said, we use Mad Mimi, so we love you guys. But it's finally here, and it'll be out here in a couple weeks. But it's pretty much done. We're just doing some last-minute testing to make sure there are no bugs on it.
Awesome. This is very exciting. So everyone keep an eye out. We'll be posting about it a whole bunch once it's finally finished and ready to go. It should be really exciting.
I've seen the back end. It's terrific.
That's great. And in addition to that, we also are having a webinar with Heyo on the 12th of February. So if you liked what you heard here, or if you are already using Heyo and you want to find out more, we'll be providing more details about that. And you can go to heyo.com/madmimi to see more info on that. And so that's more exciting Heyo Mad Mimi hug love too.
Yeah, so that's Thursday, the 12th of February. It's going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go over 6 things that you need to have for every social media contest that you run. So even if you're not running one with Heyo, we have some tips of how to run a successful contest, and we'll unveil the launch of the integration there as well, so you'll actually get to see what it looks like, see how it works, and we'll teach you a lot on that webinar as well.
That's exciting stuff. So heyo.com/madmimi to sign up. Make sure you sign up because spots are limited. So.
Correct. Yep.
And if anybody else has any other questions, please let us know. If you have any more questions about how Heyo works, or if Heyo is right for you, or you just want to say Heyo.
Heyo.
No. But I don't know. Jay, do you have any other tips or advice or anything that if somebody is sort of in the market for in the market to run a Facebook campaign or contest like this, do you have any other tips or advice or strategy or anything like that you can share?
Yeah, so one other thing that your initial direction made me think of, in addition to having the ability to run contests on the Heyo platform, if you aren't quite at those numbers yet but know that you're going to want to run one soon, know that you're really close, there are other things you can do on the platform. I mentioned earlier social media integrations. So a great tool that a lot of businesses are putting on their Facebook page now are the other social media platforms. So they'll have tabs on the top of their Facebook page that say Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. So that's another thing that we can help you out with as well if you aren't quite ready to run a contest but want to build out your social media presence. Some people may not know you're on those other social media platforms, so integrating them directly into your Facebook, the most trafficked social media, is a great thing to do. We have easy ways where all you have to do is come in, type in your username, so whether that's the YouTube channel, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, you just type it in and it automatically creates the Facebook app and custom tab for you.
Wow.
That's another thing that you can do on the Heyo platform that's pretty neat. You don't need to have those limitations, I guess, for that, because that's just something that you want to have on your page so people can go interact with your business on other social medias. So that's another cool, easy thing to do. There's no really reasons it won't work for you. That's just something that everyone can do.
Awesome. And Rebecca had another question, I think mostly for Mira and I. Does MadMimi have a direct connection through add-ons for new users, or do we sign up individually? So basically, Rebecca, if you're using a different app that integrates with MadMimi and you want to have that integration set up, you would need to have a MadMimi account too. You can sign up for a free account over at madmimi.com. Just put your email address in and click Create My Account, and it will automatically sign you up for the free plan. And then you can upgrade if you need to. But yeah, you'll want a MadMimi account and the integration app or whatever it is, an account there, and then they'll connect the two of them together.
Right.
So,
But
yeah.
if you have a MadMimi account and you're looking to connect to Heyo, that integration isn't live yet, but it will be in the next week or so, or a couple weeks. And to sign up for Heyo, you would have to go to heyo.com to sign up. So you'd have to have your MadMimi account and your Heyo account, and then they'll connect in a couple weeks.
So we help bring the leads, and then you can deal with them over MadMimi. Great software to use.
Okay.
Right, but that is great news about the other opportunities for Heyo. So it doesn't just have to be those contests. It could be social integrations on your Facebook page just to beef up your Facebook presence and your social capital and all those buzzy words that we're using in 2015 now. That's great to hear as well. That there's other uses. So. Unless there's any more questions, I think we covered everything. Anyone else have anything to add? We're waiting expectantly. No, it's all right. Of course, this episode, as all of our other How MadMimi episodes, are available on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/madmimi email. And we'll provide all of the links that we mentioned, so if you've been furiously writing them down with a pen and paper, don't worry. We'll include them in the summary of the video so that you can click right from there. And as we've mentioned before, if you have any questions about anything, just let us know. Mira at madmimi.com, Becca at madmimi.com, Jay, the letter J, Tucker at heyo.com. And we're always there for you guys. And we'll be here for you guys next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Jay, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Have a great week, everyone.